So I said I was going to do some YouTube videos of guitar and stuff like that. Hopefully, maybe if you like it, I'll do a whole series and stuff. But basically today I thought I would kickstart everything by just talking about my equipment and why I use things and why I don't use things and stuff like that. So I'll start with my guitar, I guess. This is not a Gibson Les Paul, as I'm sure already massive Gibson fans will know. This copy. It's not an Epiphone, but I really like this thing. It's really awesome, and I've done quite a lot of modding to it. I'm a bit of a guitar tech, to be honest, and I know, you know, a bit of electronics and stuff like that. And hopefully in some future videos I might talk about that as well, and give you some advice on electronics and stuff like that to do with guitars. But anyway, neither of these are stock pickups. It's a copy guitar, and usually things like this come with awful stock pickups. They weren't terrible. They were Alnico 4s that it came with, just some sort of Alnico 4 top style pickup. But anyway, I replaced them with Seymour Duncan Alnico 2 Pros. Same pickups the Slash uses. Obviously a Slash fan, hence the whole thing here. In fact, it came with black hardware as well. Like, all of this was black, this was black, the surrounds were black. Even had black knobs down here, everything. So I got all of the cream parts. I ordered all these and just stuck them all on because I wanted to get that sort of authentic Les Paul look. As for strings, I really like Diodario strings. These are the super lights as well because I like doing a lot of bending, and they make bending really easy, you know. I've set the action up on this, so I've put it much closer to the fretboard. It just makes it easier to play. It doesn't rattle at all. Everything rings out nicely. Because that's the thing. If you want to lower this, you have to make sure the intonation is still fine, and you have to also make sure that nothing rattles. And that can be due to string gauge as well. But I'm liking what I've got at the moment. I also have this little custom switch here I drilled in, which that's pretty cool, right? I've got some backlit pickups that I made. I just got some red LEDs and basically stuck one in each corner over here, all in parallel, linked them together. And in the back I've got 2 lithium cell batteries and some resistors and stuff like that. And they're all linked up to this switch here. So I'm going to turn that on so I can look super awesome, bust into a solo, turn that on, you know, and blow people's faces off with my awesomeness. That's basically my guitar, I guess. And so cable. Now most people probably wouldn't even bother describing this, but here's why. Well, I don't necessarily think, unless you've got an incredible cable, that it makes any difference at all. The difference in getting a more expensive one like this is a Fender Pro Series. The reason I got this is simply because cables break on me all the time, and if you just get those cheap cables, they last like a few weeks, you know, max. I've had this Fender one for a while now, and it's perfect. There's no crunchiness or crappiness whenever you mess with the end, you know. So that is why I've got that. Now I'm going to grab you and I'm going to show you some of my other stuff. So this is my effects pedal that I currently use. It's a Boss ME50, and I really love this thing. It's not for professional guitarists because it lacks in a couple of areas, but for like an intermediate guitarist, or you know, even someone, you know, you could. I mean, this thing is perfect for like gigging and doing like smaller things and that. I mean, it's got some really good features on it. Actually, it does a lot of different things. I'll just go through pretty quickly what's good and what's not on here. The expression pedal, you've got many settings here. I mean, this camera is not going to pick them up because it's shite, but you've got wah, resonance, voice, ring mod, +1 octave, -1 octave. The wah on it is absolutely perfect. It's awesome. Resonance, voice and ring mod are all pretty crap, really, to be honest. I failed to find a use for any of those, really. And then the +1 and -1 octave. The -1 octave doesn't work so well, going down to the bass notes, but the +1 octave works okay if you want to do a couple of things like a bit of Joe Satriani or Rage Against the Machine, that sort of thing. Then we've got like this modulation. Almost everything on here is really good. So you've got 3 different choruses: phaser, flanger, The harmonist is okay, it does sound a bit flat, but you can use it for basic stuff again. Tremolo, pan, vibrato, and stuff like that, and those all work really well. And actually the harmonist has a D tune on it, and that can really spice up a lead sound. I really like that feature. The overdrive distortion takes a hell of a lot of fiddling with to get a good tone, but when you do get a good tone, it sounds awesome. You can get some really awesome stuff like this, as you will hear later on. I think this lends itself more to classic rock blues type sounds, really. I find the metal sounds to be a bit too fuzzy on this, to be honest. I'm not a massive fan of sort of digital distortion. I much prefer valves, but I have got a great metal sound on this right now, and a good, many good sounds actually. I mean, I've had this for a long time and I still find new good sounds on it. The noise suppressor, I mean, it's very basic, but it does its job. The reverb is really good. I really like the reverb. The compressor, I think, sucks completely. And then you've got the tone modifier, which is another really good thing. You can just flick it to different settings and see what it sounds like. So that's that, basically, in a nutshell. I won't go into that anymore. I made this pedal the other day. It's basically 2 tone knobs, and each button there selects sort of like a different capacitor. The 2 buttons on the left are for the left-hand knob, and the one on the right is the right-hand knob. The right-hand knob operates as a bass cut, which cuts the bass out the signal, obviously, and the left-hand side is a treble cut. It doesn't work anything like I intended it to, strangely enough, but it still really makes my sound much cooler, and it's fun to fiddle with and get a different sound and art. It's in my loop at the moment, which means I must like it, because I'm a bit of a crazy person when it comes to my tone. I like everything to be perfect, okay? And this is a rolling cube. Now, when I went to buy this, I didn't go to buy a rolling cube. I went to buy, well, I wasn't entirely sure, but I had the choice in this particular shop of a 50 watt PV. I can't remember which PV it was, and then a Line 6 Spider 2, I think it was, and this rolling cube, and I played every single one, and the rolling cube came out on top by quite a long shot, really. I mean, the PV was just a stock amp. There was nothing on it. It was just, volume and gain, and that's it basically. It was 50 watt. Obviously, the extra power seemed quite nice, but the Line 6, honestly, all those people that have Line 6s out there, I'm sorry if I offend you, but Line 6s suck beyond belief. They're just awful. I mean, everything on them, it's just the digital sound of them is just killer. It just makes me want to cry. It just rapes any guitar tone, in my opinion. Whereas the Roland, which is why I picked it, sounds much better. I mean, the clean channel on this is this JC clean here is such a nice clean channel. I mean, it sounds perfect, and it's got this whole Cosm modelling thing on here where you can choose different amps and stuff. And to be honest, as soon as I got my Boss, I don't really use this, but it does have some good sounds. So obviously it's got an equalizer, it's got built-in effects and stuff. The effects in this amp as well are actually made by Boss, so you have that peace of mind there. It's got a built-in tuner, it's got a power squeezer, which means you can basically turn it into a 10 watt if you want it to be quieter. You still have the characteristics of being higher power. You've got optional foot pedal. You can record in line out there, or headphones or whatever. So that's a good amp, and I recommend it to people, especially over something like a Line 6. So there's my gear. Like I said, this is kind of like my introductory rundown sort of thing. I'm going to be teaching various stuff, riffs. I want to do a bit of electronics, proper way to do things, and the importance of different parts, I think, in a rig, I guess. But for now, my tones. This is sort of my classic rock setting. Not too much gain on here, so. So there's some good stuff on there. The Alnico 2s really show through when you switch up to the neck, really. That's when you get that more slash sort of type sound, especially if you roll down the tone a little bit. I'm not going to keep playing that because everyone in the entire universe plays that all the time. It probably gets a bit annoying. I'm going to be teaching that riff, Dio, Rainbow the Dark riff, and a metal riff as well will be the first two. So I've already recorded those, even before the introductory video, which I think is just so clever. Okay. Give me the number one, as you can tell, I play a lot in pentatonic box. I will say this too, I'm doing all these instructional videos, but no, I am by no means a professional guitarist. But I do have a lot of knowledge that I want to share with people, because there's a lot of people with a lot of questions, and people are always asking me to teach them guitar, and it almost never works out for several reasons. Those people aren't necessarily prepared for everything they have to do to learn guitar. It's probably not quite as easy as maybe you first think. Dedication is one of the most important things, I think. I mean, it seems like I probably have to play rock and metal, but it's not true. I mean, I love playing acoustic, I play a lot of blues, I love my blues, you know. You can get some... I'll just roll the volume down. Really nice blues tones. I love playing blues, and I'll probably do a blues lesson too. But for today, that is going to do. And hopefully you like this video, and you look forward to my other videos. So I'm going to catch you soon. Peace!